my brothers. Nomad here. One of the topics I want to talk about is discernment and how to read in between the lines, particularly when it comes to the female species. Why is discernment necessary when it comes to the opposite gender? It unveils the traps and snares within the well-hidden camouflage they enjoy hiding themselves in. I'm sure it's not your first time hearing that women are chameleons and that they put on an act to make a man believe she is one of a kind and therefore must rush to marry her before his golden opportunity disappears. She used to bait and lure men into their own demise. Make him believe he's getting something worth great price when in reality he's getting the bottom of the barrel lows. Which one can conclude that if these women were already of high value, they wouldn't have to resort to smoke and mirror tactics to get what they desire. Here's a quote from Sun Tzu, a military general who wrote the book, The Art of War. O divine art of subtlety and secrecy, through you we learn to be invisible, through you inaudible, and hence we can hold the enemy's fate in our hands. The chameleon effect is secrecy and subtlety at its finest. It employs the showing of the woman's brightest virtues while hiding its darkest sins. The end result in making a man believe he has found the one-in-a-million fairy tale princess he has always dreamed of having. Remember, lures only work when the bait is enticing. This is why discernment is invaluable to those who possess it. It reveals the secrets and voices of those who wish not to be seen or heard. With it, you can spot all the traps and snares that would entangle your life and avoid them with the utmost vigilance. Understand that traps are never openly in plain sight for all to see. Its very nature is that of being hidden, and likewise, do not expect women to openly show their hand to you. If they display weakness, it's to get you to protect them. If they show strength, it's to bluff you into thinking she has her act together while she's disorganized. If they display innocence, it's to hide her past faults. Reading in between the lines is a vital necessity to a man's health and happiness. One can hardly say, "I'm happy," when he has his foot in a bear trap, immobilizing him and causing him pain. By avoiding these treacherous minefields, a man can walk through life assured that he won't be the next statistic on a nighttime news report. Sun Tzu wrote, "To see sun and moon is no sign of sharp sight. To hear the noise of thunder is no sign of a quick ear." Anyone can see the sun or the moon, and anyone can hear thunder, but it does not give the discernment to get knowledge that is still beforehand. To give you an example of what I mean, Sun Tzu was a master at collecting information that the enemy freely gave him. On one of his campaigns, he observed that the enemy soldiers were drinking water in the river head first before filling up their buckets to return back to camp with. In this, he noted that the enemy's camp is dehydrated and now has an opportunity to tactfully position himself to starve out his adversaries rather than fighting them directly by controlling their water supply. This information was freely given to him because he had a sharp sight as compared to regular sight. Anyone who can see the soldiers drinking the water probably would have never had a second thought about the situation or how to use it to their advantage. This is the difference between having discernment and not having it. It always advances your position and avoids the pitfalls where your enemy would have you fall into a disadvantage. So how can we apply discernment to women? I have with me here a regular Craigslist post that I would like to share with you. I'll read the post first and then give you two dispositions. The first one being what she wants you to see her as, and the second one as she really is. Then you tell me if you're still interested in hooking up with the lady. The title of the post: Looking for my nerdy superhero in disguise, parenthesis BBW, 31 years old. We are nearing the end of the school year and soon a lonely summer vacation will be upon me. What's a nerdy BBW school teacher to do? Soon I'll have to start packing up my classroom, finish the last stack of papers for grading, getting out of the routine of hard-working teacher for the next few weeks before I start teaching summer school, but in the meantime I could really use a nerdy superhero. No, I don't need you to pay my bills, take out the trash, or even check my tire pressure. I need someone to rescue me from letting this summer slip away without someone to enjoy it with. I need someone to enjoy all of the wonderful meals I make, not letting the other chair at my dining room table sit empty. Someone to attend exhibits at the DMA and shows at Shakespeare in the park with. Someone to challenge me in a game of air hockey or a round of miniature golf. As a superhero, of course, you're able to reach things on tall shelves, since I'm fairly short, and kill bugs as necessary. You also have good manners and be able to carry on intelligent conversation, and one of your superpowers would be wit and sarcasm, as well as the ability to lift the occasional heavy box of books. In return for you saving me from a tragic summer, I shall enrich your life with my company, baked goods, a neck massage after a long day at work, my incredible sense of humor, and my sharp intelligence. You won't have to thank me. We both do what we can to give to the other. Assuming this nerdy superhero and nerdy BBW schoolteacher relationship works well during the summer, I'm sure we should probably take it at least to Thanksgiving so we can brag about how thankful we are to others for having one another. So, if you're an average, down-to-earth guy who is intelligent and funny and wants to save a nerdy BBW schoolteacher some heartache of a less-than-stellar summer break, send me a message. From the surface view of this posting, aside from perhaps the obvious BBW fact, that this just is a regular girl trying to get a guy to entertain her for the summer with a few positive traits of his own and have a good time. There's no commitment, there's no string-attached sex. You're doing her a favor and being a good guy by helping her out. Sounds innocent, right? Now, let's discern this post sentence by sentence and get the real message. By doing so, we'll see all the free information she is giving us and the traps and pitfalls she hid poorly. First off, let's start with the title. Looking for my nerdy superhero in disguise, parenthesis, BBW, age 31. The first thing that should have caught your attention is the word nerdy and her age. If you're a man going his own way, you know that after around age 30, women tend to start looking for nice guys to provide them with a steady paycheck and a responsible father figure for any current children or future children with them. Her age implies she's done with the bad boys and it's time to settle down and be a mom. She feels her biological clock ticking, and that implies she will want children with you, which in turn could lead to a pregnancy. Yes, in this title alone, we can discern that she wants to get married and have children, with the potential trap of keeping you there by doing whatever is necessary to get offspring. Keep this in mind. If she was already looking for these nerdy men before her 30s, which are good men, that they would have no reason to leave her as the good men they are, unless they found things about her that were so unappealing, the only logical conclusion to the situation was to withdraw from the relationship, which in either case doesn't give you any good report about the situation that would be beneficial. So, from the word nerdy, we can relabel that as good man, and from her age, we can relabel that as time to settle down now with the good boys, since the bad ones don't want to have anything to do with me anymore. Now let's look at the word superhero. What can we discern from this word alone? We can learn that this word is the bait for which to lure unsuspecting men like lambs to the slaughter. Superhero implies a man of great virtue and strength, which is flattering to one's own ego. However, such great strength is wasted unless there is one in need of saving. From this information alone, we can derive that her entire message will be of the needing to be saved victimhood mentality. Men naturally want to protect those who are weaker than them, and so we get a clear image of what she wants you to perceive her as. This false image of innocence, weak, and helplessness in order to move you into a position of disadvantage without even realizing it. Therefore, we conclude that while you are with this woman, you will be told what to do and, more importantly, how to do it, because she can't support herself. She needs you to do it for her. You're her superhero. This word alone implies a form of parasitism or a parent in childhood relationship. You're going to be the stronger vessel, so all the harder work and responsibilities will be designated to you while she enjoys the finer things of life, namely sitting in front of the couch. Keep in mind that this woman is of age 31, meaning by law she is a full-grown adult who is 100% responsible for all her choices and actions she takes in life. Yet here in this diatribe is feigning weakness with a damsel in distress message of please come and save me and bail me out of everything difficult attitude. So from the title, what intelligence have we gathered? We have learned that this woman is a deadweight parasite, looking for an unsuspecting man to father her children and pay her bills while she sits on the couch eating bonbons and pretending to have a normal functioning relationship with him. He believes he's going in saving a princess from her boredom with lots of easy lays for the next few months. Not only that, she should be grateful for him doing this for her, which would be the case if this was the original deal in which she is implying. The reality is, though, she is going to have crazy sex with this man and do the following. Make him believe she really loves him and thus enabling a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and if that fails, pull a pregnancy, tricking him to further bury him into the situation. Nowhere in here would this woman be grateful to this man because she's already negotiated a different agreement in terms in which he is not even aware of. Yet if anything is said, she can always turn to tears and I guess you're not the superhero I thought you were, to make him feel guilty of not wanting to be with her forever. Let's continue on with the rest of the post. We are nearing the end of the school year, and soon a lonely summer vacation will be upon me. What's a nerdy BBW school teacher to do? This is merely the bait on the hook. Here we have the princess in distress, signaling cries and wails that boredom will ensue unless some man shows up and elevates her loneliness. Where's all the nice guys? Where's my knight in shining armor? What's a fat school teacher to do? The first sentence alone is already a trap, placed and ready for any fool to come along and spring it. This gives you insight into her character. Already she's baiting, crying, and feigning weakness. This means when hard times comes, she's going to run away. She's just a little girl, too weak to handle the pressure. How could you? How could you judge Cupcake from doing real work and handling hard times? If you just happen to be on a sinking ship, those cries and shrieks behind you will be your princess, demanding your life jacket so she can get away safely and watch you drown from a distance. This is what is in store for any man who lacks discernment. Continuing on. Soon, I'll have to start packing up my classroom, finish that last stack of papers for grading, getting out of the routine of hard-working teacher for the next few weeks before I start teaching summer school. But in the meantime, I could really use a nerdy superhero. There's two things I want to point out in this sentence. The first one is her belief that easy work is hard work. She's stacking papers and organizing shelves, but to her, this is equivalent as of picking up heavy stones and building bridges and highways. Can you guess what this means for you? That's right, all her labor will be a man's job, while she does the dusting and window cleaning and letting you know just how hard it is to use a Swiffer. You really can't expect her to do what you do, considering that's why she asked for a superhero in the first place, which means you'll be criticized and put down if you don't go along with the plan. Her view of work ethics is skewed, so do not be surprised when her not doing the dishes is portrayed as you being an unreasonable boyfriend who doesn't help out around the house or appreciate what she does. The second thing I'd like to point out is her quote, "I could really use a nerdy superhero." Notice how this phrase has no context in which to see you as a human being. Its context is often only referred to as objects rather than people. I could really use a good drink. I could really use a good, insert whatever you want at your leisure. This shows that whoever decides to foolishly come along in this woman's life or to her aid will be seen as nothing more than a mere tool or an object to get what she wants. This lack of empathy means that you'll be seen as nothing more than cannon fodder when the bad times come, even in spite of any emotional attachment you may have for her at the beginning of the relationship. This reveals a very deep manipulative nature on her part in which she has no sympathy for her willing victims that comes to her door. You're just a man and will be used as such. This shows a clear lack of desire for any real romanticized feelings, but what she gets out of the deal, which is sperm and money. She just wants to be a stay-at-home mother, having you raise the kids. They will, after all, be a great excuse to not have a job in the first place. If you can't already sense that this post is leading to an agreement in which a man is subjected to a soul-crushing 70-hour workweek job while his wife stays at home all day pretending to watch the kids, we haven't even got in 3 sentences of her post yet. This alone is enough to convict her of all her real intentions, but we'll continue on. No, I don't need you to pay my bills, take out the trash, or even check my tire pressure. I need someone to rescue me from letting this summer slip away without someone to enjoy it with. More smoke and mirrors in which she desperately tries to get you to believe that she can take care of herself, and the only rescuing she needs from you is in the department of entertainment. She needs a jester, someone to keep her preoccupied while schoolwork comes back into play. A temporary relationship in which the man can freely get what he wants and merely go on his own way after a short period of time. This is the illusion that you have no real responsibility. She just wants you to make her laugh and be in good company, but we'll shortly see just how much she values your company as she spills the beans about it later on. Continuing on. I need someone to enjoy all the wonderful meals I make, not letting the other chair at my dining room table sit empty. Here we have more bait, more superheroism, and a chameleon blending in. For the bait, we are given the illusion that she enjoys cooking and is busy making delicious meals for not only herself but you as well. Wouldn't it be nice for you to sit down and enjoy many delicious recipes with such a wonderful lady? You get to be the hero too, because you're saving her from boredom. How could such an innocent, sweet thing not find friends to fill these seats with? Why is she such a lonely person? Who is going to fill her home with voices of laughter and stories of adventure? She assumes to win men over through filling his belly, or at least giving the image she will be. This is the chameleon inside of her saying, "Come on over here, I got lots of great food for you to enjoy. Not so bad being with me, is it? Continuing on. Someone to attend exhibits at the DMA and shows at Shakespeare in the park with. Someone to challenge me in a game of air hockey or a round of miniature golf. This is where the rubber meets the road. Men don't go to the DMA or Shakespeare except for those few men who find those entertainment values appealing. This is where she slipped the tongue and basically said, I want a boyfriend. She has went from treating you as a male who has his own sovereignty and can do as he pleases to her view of what boyfriends should be doing for their girlfriends. That is, take them out to what she wants to see, and you'll just have to bear the brunt of it. No, she won't be your superhero, saving you from your boredom as you snooze away at these festivities. Naturally, though, she blends back in by adding in things men are more prone to enjoy, such as hockey and golf. But now that you know she's a good cook, and you'll be doing all these wonderful activities with her instead of your friends, that's enough work for her. It's time for her list of demands on which she will place you under, even though you're a free man. As a superhero, of course, she'll be able to reach things on tall shelves, since I'm fairly short, and kill bugs as necessary. Here, the nagging girlfriend comes out of her. Here's your list of what she expects to be done, which seems remotely innocent on the surface, but unveils a troublesome character flaw within. Does getting things on tall shelves and smashing bugs such a horrible chore? No, not really. But having someone to demand you do these things for them shows in her nature a desire to have control over you. Already this is a sign that she's going to manipulate the relationship to get what she wants, and inevitably not give a damn if you get what you want. After all, you're just a mere man, a tool or utility of disposing. Just because she puts icing on her bait doesn't mean she's a virtuous woman. The reverse is true, in which they are more devious than before. An honest woman does not need lures or traps to get a man. They win him over through their natural beauty and love and affection. If they do not have these naturally, they will feign it, which signals all the more reason to run for the hills as quickly as possible. You'll also have good manners and be able to carry on an intelligent conversation. One of your superpowers would be wit and sarcasm, as well as the ability to lift the occasional heavy box of books. If you haven't hit the eject button long before we got to this point, you should definitely do it here. Her tone of voice is that of a queen. You will have good manners and carry an intelligent conversation. How do you think a man would sound if he said, and you will give me sex every night and shut up when I tell you to? Does it sound controlling? Well, that's because it is. She also demands you to be funny as her gesture and lift her heavy boxes of books when she needs you to. Remember me telling you how you'll get a 70-hour workweek job while she sits at home? This is an advanced warning right here, and she's telling you without even being aware of it. In return for you saving me from a tragic summer, I shall enrich your life with my company, baked goods, a neck massage after a long day at work, my incredible sense of humor, and my sharp intelligence. The first clue is the enrich your life with her company. Remember, you're supposed to be the superhero, saving her from boredom and a life of loneliness. Yet here she shows her true feelings by believing you, being in her company, is really the reward from her to you. Everything she wrote about you saving her was a lie, because it was merely on the bait to lure you in. She doesn't believe it, but she desperately wants you to believe it. And here we have in full display what's wrong with Western women as a whole. The ego and entitlement complex they have pervades the atmosphere and what they think about themselves. She'll let you know up front and center that you're going to be a workhorse, but you'll be rewarded with her cold meals, poor sense of humor, and her retarded intelligence. As if that even compensates you even spending time with her, as you'll get more for your money hanging out with your friends than this control freak. You won't have to thank me. We both do what we can to give to the other. Here is the reverse psychology that really spells it out for you. She expects you to be grateful for doing all these wonderful lackluster things for you that an Xbox could do better. Remember, you're supposed to be the superhero, yet she's already expecting praise and worship for just showing up at the door. She probably isn't even aware of how much information she's really giving us just about how wonderful this 3-month sex-free, no-strings-attached escapade is going to be. Assuming this nerdy superhero and nerdy BBW schoolteacher relationships works well during the summer, I'm sure we should probably take it to at least Thanksgiving so we can brag about how thankful we are to others for having one another. Here we have her desire to extend the 3-month relationship into 7 months just so you can be used as social fodder about her finding a boyfriend. She wants to flaunt you in front of her family and friends, but not out of any desire or love for you, but just so she can finally perhaps join in on her being outlawed as the fat girl who can't get laid by her girlfriends. The bragging part, as if there was anything to brag about, is more reverse psychology, intended to make you believe you landed a great deal and perhaps would inquire of you to pursue the relationship further by peer pressure from her side of the family. Suddenly, you find yourself from a 3-month relationship into a 7-month one, wondering why they are pressuring marriage and possibly kids from complete strangers you never knew. You wake up and ask yourself, how the hell did I get myself into this mess? You can clearly see where this is leading to. She has no interest in a 3-month fling, but she does desperately want a boyfriend, she desperately wants marriage, she desperately wants kids, which is ultimately going to lead you to being the workhorse provider while she sits at home consuming all your food resources. So, if you're an average, down-to-earth guy who is intelligent and funny and wants to save a nerdy BBW school teacher some heartache of a less than stellar summer break, send me a message. Now this is the funny part. In the beginning she tries to sell you the bait. However, in the middle she tells you what an absolute control freak and entitled princess she is and that you're going to be doing overtime. And then at this very last piece, it's back to the original fairy tale of please rescue me, I'm in need of saving. So in conclusion, any man without discernment would run into this woman as an easy lay for sex, 3 months, no strings attached. However, the man with discernment will ask this one simple question. What's her agenda? This is an entitled, controlling, manipulative, desperate-to-be stay-at-home mother who wants some nice guy to pay up for her crimes. Time's running out for her. That's why, gentlemen, you should go your own way and learn discernment. God bless.